And welcome back to Flow's Sports Fix on this Monday. The Flowman series looking at some local football results. We've got Mid-South East, we've got Mallee, we've got K&T along with Sunraysia and North Central. But Flowman, what have you got up first?
Time for us to have a look at K&T, Mallee and Mid-South Eastern football results from weekend matches. Firstly in the K&T, Kingston 9-11-65 have got up and beaten Border District 7-9-51 over at Francis, and any win at Francis is a good win. The Saints will take that to start their season. It looks a promising season ahead for them too. And Keith looks also likewise for them, 11-12-78, beating Kaibi Bolite 3-6-24. That was the biggest margin of the day in all K&T senior matches. This was the narrowest margin. Lucendale 11-11-77 over Pathway, 11-10-76. And what about Cox for Pathway? Booted 8 of the 11 games, nearly won it off of his own boot. It was a thrilling match of football, and we're told that it went right down to the very last wire, and at Lucendale able to claim a victory over the Lions. Mundalla 13-11-89 beat Naracoorte 8-9-57. It just shows that Naracoorte are going to be okay this year. And Mundalla, while they're the reigning premiers in both Limestone Coast and in K&T, they will be buoyed by a win to first start up their season in front of their home crowd. And finally, in another beauty, Penola 9-8-62 beat Bordertown 8-10-58. Bordertown won't be far off the mark this year, you wouldn't think, with that sort of a performance. So well played to them, and they're going to be right around it as the season progresses. Let's head now to the Mid-South Eastern football, and it was Robe Roosters 34-21 to 125, beating Nangwarry 1-8 as expected. In other matches, Congarong easily over Tandanoola. It was Mount Burr 13-13 over Glencoe 10-12. And in a close one, it was Kalangadoo 15-18, 108 to Port MacDonald 16-3, 99. A 9-point win by Kalangadoo, even though they didn't kick as straight as they should have. Port MacDonald certainly did, but it was the game set and match to the Magpies there. But the Robe Roosters be very excited with their big scores across the 4 grades against Nangwarry down there at Nangwarry. And finally, we head to football in the Mallee, and it was a big performance by the Lameroo Hawks, 15-19, 109 to beat Murrayville 10-15-75. Meanwhile, across at the Karoonda Oval, the coverage game by the MFL TV, it was a terrific performance there by Pinaroo, who beat Karoonda 14-20, 104 to 2-8-20. And finally, it was BDT who got home by 12 points to win their match over Peak. A good win to start the season for the Crows. And with Mallee football, as things are getting going, it's going to be a terrific year. We're going to be watching with a lot of interest this weekend. I'll be out and about at the Peak Oval for the Anzac matches. Just to bring that to its context, the Anzac medals will be awarded this Saturday at the Lameroo Karoonda ground. It'll be the G. Blackett medal, and then at the Peak and Murrayville ground it'll be the Jeff Harvey medal, while at the Pinaroo versus BDT it'll be the Florence Casson medal. So we're looking forward to being part of that, and it is going to be a day to remember on Saturday as we play the Anzac round across our country football leagues in South Australia.
And we'll be talking about that lot more in more detail for you on Friday's sports show from 4pm to 7pm right across the Flow Network. But right now, those more local sports results from local games played over the weekend, this time over to Sunraysia and North Central.
And in Sunraysia games, it is Merbein, the Magpies. They look the real deal. They've beaten Mildura 12-8-80 to Mildura 6-13-49. And after Mildura's demolition of Owen United the week before, we thought that this was going to be a game that Merbein might struggle in, but no, they look like they've recruited magnificently, and they are going to be a tough side to beat already with those 2 wins from 2 outings. Imperials avenged the grand final loss from 2019 from Irimple by beating them 11-9-75 to Irimple 7-4-46. And gee, the results that maybe were upsets continue when Robinvale Euston 9-12-66 beat Wentworth 5-16-46 at the John James Oval down in Robinvale. And finally, South Mildura 14-11-95. Too good for Redcliffe's 9-8-62. And that would did seem to indicate that maybe Redcliffs are going to have a long, hard season down there at Quandon Park, because South, they've been one of the lower clubs in senior football in the more recent years, but I think everything's been turned on its head since the COVID-19 situation. Well, heading over to North Central football, and Birchip Watcham were too good for Boort, albeit Boort a much improved side from a previous outing. It was 13-17-95 to Birchip Watcham. They beat Boort 6-3-39. So good win there by the Birchip Watcham Bulls. They showed that they've got some class in that side, and they will certainly be a tough side to beat. I know that they lost their big ruckman, Surrett. He's gone over to play for Colburn-Abbon in the Heathcote and District Football League. But it was still well played to the Birchip Watcham Bulls, with Castellana kicking 5 and Christie in great form for them. Across the day, the Birchip Watcham won the 2s, and Boort won the 16s and the 13 age groups. So well done to Boort in the juniors there, showing that they've got some real talent there for the future. In games between St Arnaud and Wedderburn won the senior match 13-12-90 to beat St Arnaud 4-7-31. It was St Arnaud through the other grades were too good for Wedderburn in the reserves, 16s and 13s. Sealac Nandali Tigers 24-15-159 won their senior match against Charlton 3-8-26. A demolition by the Sealac Nandali Tigers, the 2019 Premier. They just shared it around too, with McGuinness with 4 and M. Elliott 3, McGarry 3, D. Hickey 3. Wade Donnan also booted 3, along with Summer Hayes getting a couple, and O'Sullivan, the big ruckman, a couple, and Elliott and Wade Donnan and Trent Donnan, Kyle Brasser, 2 great players. Judd a couple for Charlton, but it just wasn't enough for them. They were massacred by these magnificent Tigers. And in the reserve grade, similar result. Sealac and Daly way too good, kicking 22 goals to just a point by the boys from the Navy Blues. The under 16s went to Sealac and Daly quite comfortably, and then in the under 13s, Charlton actually kicked 5 goals to 4 to beat Sealac Nandali in that one. And finally, it was the Donald senior side 10-9-69 over Witcherproof Naracoorte 6-7-43. Great win by Donald there, and Witcherproof Naracoorte also lost the reserve grade. No junior grades were played on the weekend between the two clubs. So that is a look at our sports fix for North Central and Sunraysia games from weekend matches.
Thank you, Flowman. Still to come on tonight's Sports Fix, we're chatting with director Nicole Miller about her film This is Port Adelaide. But coming up next, an AFL wrap with the Statman.